Chris Mannix joined us from the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I just heard about Selena Gomez and Bieber, so I'm doing pretty well.
Any celebrity sightings in Las Vegas?
No. I got here last night, so I haven't quite, done my obligatory walk down the strip and look for them yet, so I'll get there.
Well, there's some NBA talent there, some stars there, right?
Yeah, I was in the gym last night. If you want to have a robust conversation about Kevin Knox and his abilities, I can happily break that down off last night.
Okay, I know Knick fans are all excited because he's had a couple of good games.
Oh yes, God love the overreaction to summer league play. I love it. Guys put up 30 on people that'll be working at Starbucks in 6 weeks, and all of a sudden it's a big deal. They're very excited about the Kevin Knox dunk fest that's up there. I would remind people that Nate Robinson literally has his jersey on the wall up here because of how he's played in summer leagues past. I wouldn't get too excited about the numbers.
How about this guy Furkan from the 76ers? We just love his name.
Furkan Korkmaz.
Yes.
He's a summer league vet. He's been a couple of times. He's a fringe NBA guy. The competition here is so bad. It's weird. It's almost like you have like Golden State Warrior level talent at the top of the roster and barely.
But why are you
talent.
there, Mannix? Why are you there if the league isn't any good?
Everybody's here, and it's a chance to see everybody you need to see all in kind of one place.
Oh,
and
okay.
you periodically see, you want to see the first pick, you want to see Ayton play, and see if somebody put on muscle and whatever. And, so it's always good.
All right, explain to me what has happened, what will happen in the offseason. Any other major moves like Carmelo, Clint Capella, anybody who's going to tip the balance here that makes it even more interesting or less interesting?
Yeah, Carmelo's interesting because he's Carmelo, and I'm most interested to see what kind of role he's willing to take on with his next team. He's at this pivotal kind of transition point, right? I don't know if Oklahoma City would have held on to him anyway, but I think they would have had a longer conversation if he had said to them, look, I'll come off the bench. I'll be a sixth man. He's making their decision pretty easy for them by basically drawing a line in the sand and all that. Will Carmelo Anthony decide he's willing to be a reserve in this final chapter in his career? If he does, Dan, there'll be a dozen teams out there looking to sign. Carmelo Anthony against second unit guys is a weapon. Carmelo Anthony, who is going to insist on being a starter, who is going to gripe if he's not on the floor in the fourth quarter, that's not a guy more than one or two teams is going to be interested in. So he's the most interesting guy. The natural thought is that he winds up with the Lakers, but unless LeBron insists that Carmelo Anthony winds up there, I don't believe that the Lakers would show any real interest in him. So I'm real interested to see what happens there with Carmelo.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that because now I'm looking at LeBron's supporting cast, and it sounds like he's handpicking this supporting cast. But what do you make of the moves that you bring in Rondo, you bring in McGee, you bring in Lance Stevenson? What's this mean?
Oh, it's so goofy. It really is. And I love the narrative that's being pushed out there that some people actually are believing that, we're getting away from what Miami did and what Cleveland did. We're not going to surround LeBron James with shooters. We're going to surround him with competitors and with playmakers. Putting aside Rondo, LeBron loves playing with high IQ players. Is that how you describe JaVale McGee? Is that how you describe Lance Stevenson? He's going to wind up playing through the post this year, and he's going to be immediately double-teamed by two or three guys because coaches know that he's going to throw the ball out to a 30% three-point shooter in Rondo, a 30% three-point shooter in Lance Stevenson, Lonzo Ball, whose shot we know is suspect. The guys around him, Dan, just make no sense. And that doesn't even take into account the brewing war that could take place between Rondo and Lonzo and LeVar who you have to throw in this mix as well. I mean, the Lakers are doing a hell of a job selling this narrative that the type of team that will take LeBron into through the final stage of his career. But I think it's total nonsense. I think this is the type of team that spontaneously combusts right around midseason.
Whoa. Wow.
Do you disagree? Are you buying this?
I don't like the supporting cast, but I do look at LeBron turning 34 in December, and I think that at some point you have to take the San Antonio Spurs approach to stars, and I got to limit his minutes because I want him to play 4 more years or 5 more years. And that's what I don't know. Can I bring in people who are going to make plays so he doesn't have to make the play all by himself? However you do that, I wouldn't have brought in McGee. Rondo, I'm okay if he can help Lonzo Ball a little bit. Stevenson, okay. You brought in a LeBron defender, and now he's on your team, and he's going to be your, Draymond Green, I guess. So I like the fact that they kept the younger kids there. But LeBron is on record, I guess, that Magic, consulted him about bringing these guys in. So LeBron is bringing in these 3 guys that we're talking about that you think could be a combustible unit.
I mean, they're a very combustible unit. One thing about this team is, and this I believe, like this is something they like. One thing about this team is their practices are going to be great because they're bringing in competitors. I mean, LeBron, of course, huge competitor. Rondo, incredible competitor, has worked really well with younger players over the last couple of years. Lance Stevenson, for all his other flaws, an incredibly competitive guy. So after a year last year, where they were kind of like, the romper room out there with rap battles and really no level of intensity in that locker room. It's going to be a different vibe there. But the one thing that was problematic for this team last year, Dan, that I see being problematic again, is that not a lot of guys have equity in this team. Not a lot of guys in that locker room are looking around saying, I'm going to be a Laker for multiple years. I'm invested in the long-term health of this group. This group about the next contract. And we know no matter what they're saying about Rondo and Lance and McGee right now, it's highly likely that none of these guys are on this team next year when they go big game hunting for one of those big stars. So I worry about, if a guy like Rondo's not getting his minutes, what does he say? If Lance Stevens not getting his minutes, what does he say? How does Luke Walton handle all of this in his, first foray into this type of coaching job? It just has the ability to spark very quickly in that locker room.
He's Chris Mannix, Yahoo Sports, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Ty Lue said he was going to talk to Luke Walton on how to coach LeBron James. What do you make of that?
I mean, they're friendly, and I think that actually happened last night here in Vegas. At least that was the intent on doing that. Look, Ty's a great guy, and, it's not Luke's fault that, his franchise player has, been taken. It's not like they're going to be competitors for the next few years as the Cavaliers are going to go through a really painful rebuild, similar even to what they went through in 2010. So, a nice gesture by Ty to do something like that.
Is Luke Walton safe?
I don't know. I mean, look, he's safe if he succeeds. I mean, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's true. One thing that works against Luke is, not only is he not LeBron's guy, but he's not really Magic's guy either. I mean, Magic came in and Rob Pelinka came in after Luke Walton was hired. He was brought in by Mitch Kupchak and that front office. And as we've seen countless times, general managers, executives like to bring in their own guys. You throw LeBron into the mix, who's going to have an enormous voice, not just on the roster, but on the coaching staff. I think he's going to have to succeed this season. I don't know what success really looks like. I mean, you talk to different people. Some people within the Lakers say, look, we could be a 55, 60-win team. I don't really see it. I mean, I think LeBron with this group is probably worth 10 wins, but he might not be worth more. So I think he's at least got to get into the playoffs and have some of these young guys trending upwards.
Did DeMarcus Cousins have any other options?
None. Zero. I mean, the Boston stuff was not really an option at one point, but he just, when he had no lucrative offers, and really there were zero. I mean, he talked to the Pelicans, he talked to the Lakers, but New Orleans and literally every other team that I talked to about Cousins, Dan, their number one concern was not the long-term contract, but we don't even know what we're paying for in year one. Yeah. So whatever we give Cousins, if it's a 4-year deal, $80 million, they looked at it as like a 3-year deal in $80 million because Cousins next year, he's probably going to come back January, February, and he's probably not going to be 100% during that time. So they didn't he didn't get a single real offer or single offer period over the first week of free agency. I give him credit. As soon as he realized that wasn't coming, he stopped, he pivoted and said, you know what, I'm going to win a championship. I'm going to go to a great culture, and I'm going to kind of try to turn my reputation around and position myself well for the summer of 2019. If this goes well for DeMarcus Cousins, he is going to enter free agency real chance of recouping that max-level contract he sought this summer.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you soon.
July 30th. Coming off.
Haircut day for Chris Mannix. All right.
Yes.
Have fun out there. Behave.
All right, Dan.
That's Chris Mannix, Yahoo Sports, senior NBA writer. Not junior NBA writer. No, he's a senior NBA writer.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.